In this video, we're going to talk about simplifying exponents. Now, many times when you're working these problems, you may not get a real answer. They just want to see if you understand how to simplify. Let's take an example such as this. Now, it looks really complex, but it may not be very complex at all. First, you have to know, what does it mean by x squared? Well, I'm going to teach this two different ways to sort of help you. The first way I'm going to explain is this. X squared means x times itself. So x squared would be x times x. Times, there's another times, x to the 6th means 6 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're all multiplied times each other in this case. So you end up having a ton of x's, and then x to the 4th means x times x times x times x. And so we have lots of x's over a lot of x's. Well, you'll notice that whenever you have, we did this in one of the earlier videos, let me use this example real quick. If we had something like this, if it's multiplication and division, if you see numbers on the top and the bottom, they cancel. The 2's cancel, the 3 cancel, and all I have left is 4. Well, the same thing is also true for letters. You'll notice I have an x, that's going with that one. That goes, and that goes. What do I have left? X times x times x times x, which is x to the 4th. There's my answer. Now, it may be really complex to have to put all the x's out there, so isn't there sort of a simpler way? Well, there is, and here's how it works. Let's go back to the beginning. Whenever you have an exponent times an exponent, you just add them together. So x squared plus x to the 6th is x to the 8th over x to the 4th. Well, if they're multiplied and you add them together, if you divide them, then you're probably subtracting. So if I have x to the 8th divided by, that means I'm going to subtract the exponents, x to the 4th. 8 minus 4 is x to the 4th. You'll notice I got the same answer both ways. Let me do this one again. If you have exponents and they're multiplied, you add them together. If they are being divided, you subtract. So x squared plus x to the 6th is x to the 8th divided by x to the 4th, so this is subtraction. I got the same answer both ways. Now let's try to simplify something else that looks like this. Let's say we have something like this. Now, when you first look at it, it might look like it's complex, but it's really not too hard. You want to do your parentheses first in your order of operations. Oh, there's an exponent multiplied by another exponent, so you're going to add. That ends up being, excuse me, I said that incorrectly. I have a squared cubed. Those aren't multiplied. That's a squared cubed. Well, if we had something like this, 2 squared times 2 to the 3rd, you would add them together like we just saw. But in this case, this is different. You have a squared that's now cubed. So in this case, you're going to multiply. So it's going to become 2 to the 6th. And I see 3 to the 1st power. A couple of rules. Anything to the 1st power is automatically that number. So 3 to the 1st power is 3. So that's plus 2 times 3. And anything to the 0 power, that whole answer becomes a 1. Any number to the 0 power becomes 1. Well, I just simplified my life a lot. 2 to the 6th power, that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do this math. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. If you're not sure, do it on your calculator. Plus 2 times 3 is 6 minus 1. Oh, okay, so 64 plus 6 is 70 minus 1, 69. There's my answer. And so you can simplify your exponents pretty quickly, whether it's a bunch of x's You can simplify by adding your numbers. That becomes x to the 7th. Divided by x to the 3rd, that's subtraction, becomes x to the 4th. Or you can do it with actual numbers. Either way, you simplify your exponents to get the best numbers possible. In the next video, you're going to try some of these out, and then I'll give you the answers to selected ones. Good luck!